charges. Potential savings will vary.
The Wildcats play here. This is your home of Arizona Wildcats football, men's basketball, and baseball. This is the home of the Wildcats. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
I was working in the lot late one night when my eyes beheld an eerie sight. Chris Holcomb came out and said to the guys, "Tucson's in for a big surprise.
It's now the Slash.
It's the O'Reilly Slash.
He did the slash.
It was a Halloween bash.
He did the slash.
It caught on in a flash.
He did the slash.
People saved lots of cash. So come to the place where the deals are hot. EVs and Silverados are what we've got. O'Reilly's competition is out of luck. They said, "What will happen to our Transylvanian trucks?" Come watch us slash prices. Together, let's drive to O'Reilly Chevrolet. When you test drive an EV today, you'll receive 2 tickets to Terror in the Corn. See us on Broadway next to Park Place Mall. Call 747-8000 or go to O'Reilly.com. Give me those keys, Igor, you impetuous fool.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. You're listening to the home of the best coverage of your Phoenix Suns and the NBA. This is Wildcats Radio 1290. Live from the CNWT.
Wait, what's the CNWT?
Central Northwest Tucson. Duh.
It's DK on the Sports Tip with your host, David Kelly.
Radio. Just when I thought I was out, they drug me back in.
Featuring J.W. Madden.
Don't tell me about flip-flops, man. I'm a native.
David Amata.
Hey, that's Dragon Ball to you.
And Cricket getting you home with traffic and weather.
Camp on Melt Lemon, not in the left lane on the freeway.
Here we go! And now, a man who has not one, but 3 first names. David Scott Kelly.
Dave Roberts can hardly watch. Here's the 1-2 pitch from Buehler. Got him swinging! That's it! It's a World Series win for LA! They've done it! They finished the job and give Los Angeles the parade it's been waiting for!
The Los Angeles Dodgers are champions of baseball. The season did not reach November because the Dodgers were just that good to erase a 5-zip lead Thursday night at Yankee Stadium and come from behind for a 7-6 win and to take the World Series 4 games to 1. Harkens back to memories of 1988 when I was a kid. I would have been 11 years old watching that Dodgers team beat the Yankees, having just moved away from Los Angeles, but still supporting the Dodger Blue. Always great to see the Dodgers get one over the Yankees. Hard to believe it's only their 8th World Series title, just the 8th in franchise history. But congratulations to Dave Roberts and that crew. And now, you know, Dave Roberts has cemented himself. I mean, this is a guy that's taken a lot of flack, but he has now done what Tommy Lasorda did. And that is win 2 World Series. Now, of course, they all have a ways to go. Well, at least, no. Dave Roberts has a ways to go because Tommy's not going to rest his soul. Is not going to be able to win any more World Series. But Dave Roberts still has a little bit of a ways to go to match the legendary Walter Austin, who won the first 4 championships in Los Angeles over the course of an 11-season period, 55, 59, 63, 65. And Tommy won 2 in 8 seasons, 81, 88. He got to several World Series, though. Got to the World Series in 74, 77, and 78, losing before finally winning in his last 2 appearances. And now Dave Roberts has taken this team to the World Series on 4 occasions, and he has come away with 2 championships now. So definitely cements his legacy, I think, as one of the better managers in the game of baseball. And they needed this one, 2020. Again, never take away any championship in any season, no matter how it's structured, COVID or not, shortened or not, strike shortened or not. I mean, you play, everybody plays on the same level that particular season. And if you're the last team standing at the end, then that's your title. Now, 2020, they didn't win it in their hometown. All the games were in Dallas, and they didn't get to have a parade. So now those folks in Los Angeles will get their first parade to celebrate a World Series champion since I was in college there in 1988.
It's kind of funny, DK, that the Lakers and the Dodgers have a lot of similarities in that if you think about the Celtics dynasty, right? How many Laker runner-up finishes were there? Quite a few.
Right.
So the Lakers have been to 29 NBA Finals, have won 17. Dodgers, 22 World Series, 6 titles.
Yeah. Well, 8 now. 8.
8 titles.
Yep. Exactly.
A lot of runner-ups.
Yep. The MLB Tucson was there at the end, Austin Wells, and I was sitting on my couch watching this thinking, man, this would be something if Austin Wells out of the University of Arizona and Alex Verdugo out of Saguaro High School could find a way to get this game to the bottom of the ninth.
So full disclosure.
To win it in the bottom of the ninth.
I was watching Wembanyama versus Chet Holmgren, and I had the sound on, but I had the baseball game also on my computer, and I was watching that without the sound on. And that Austin Wells at bat, I watched literally every single pitch. Yeah. And I was thinking the same thing, DK. I was thinking, what if?
What if?
Here's that one moment.
What if those Tucson guys could have sent this series back to Los Angeles? Unfortunately, Walker Buehler was just a little bit better than them last night.
Do we need to talk about the 5 runs with 2 outs and all of the blunders?
Do we need to talk about the best pitcher in baseball not covering first, Garrett Cole?
How about I didn't know this until I read after the game, but Judge didn't have any errors in the entire regular season.
Right.
And he dropped the one in center. So.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, karma.
I mean, when it goes sideways, it goes real sideways.
It does. Yeah. It does. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with Aaron Boone. A lot of people not happy with a lot of the decisions that he made. But Aaron Boone's a solid manager, and if the Yankees don't want him, I'm sure somebody else will come and snatch him up real quick. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. As always, well, this will be the final Thursday short show of the year because we changed the clocks this weekend. So instead of ending at 4:30, starting next Thursday, we'll end at 5:30 ahead of Thursday night football. And then actually that's going to probably change later on because once we get into December and we begin the Tommy Lloyd shows, we won't be carrying as many Thursday night NFL games. And so we'll be having full shows on those days. So our little half break here on Thursday is coming to an end. I like it. I'll be honest with you. I like it just because it allows us to kind of begin to get ahead a little bit on Saturday U of A football. And so it's always a blessing to have a few extra hours to be able to deal with everything that takes place on Saturdays. So we'll miss our early time slot here, but looking forward to getting a chance on Thursdays to talk a little bit longer with you as well.
The other side of that coin, DK, is basketball season is starting. We do 3 hours of pregame, right? And so therefore, there's going to be a lot of midweek games. So a lot of DK and the Sports Tip shows may not happen coming up here in the next month.
Exactly. And just we'll give you a programming heads up. We will be taking next week is obviously the bye week for Arizona football. They'll play Central Florida this week, and then they'll have a week off before they return. I think they go to TCU, then Houston, and then, or it might be the other way around, Houston, then TCU, then home for the Territorial Cup game. So we won't have shows next week on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. We'll do Monday show because, we'll do Monday. We'll be on Monday because it's basketball night. So we'll have pregame Monday. We'll do a show Tuesday because it's Election Day, and I didn't want to take off a show on Election Day because there's going to be a lot happening, and I think it's important for us to be on the air that day while things are happening here in Southern Arizona in case there's anything that needs to be reported or talked about, whether it's sports or whether it's politics. That may be the one day we delve a little bit into that in terms of what's happening here locally and nationally as well. But we'll take Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday off from shows next week. and reconvene Saturday with pregame prior to the second game of the season for Arizona men's basketball. J-Dub mentioned that we got a chance to we talked to Tommy Lloyd today. Got a chance to hear, if you heard his press conference with us a little bit earlier today. Tommy Lloyd, and this has been the question of the week. Everybody has gotten it. I have not been the one to ask it. I'll let other people ask it. But of course, it's Halloween. Today is Halloween. So happy Halloween to everyone out there. No one, I think Shannon's the only one I saw that had an outfit on today. And I think
I have an outfit on.
Do you have it? What do you?
I'm
are
dressed
you
the same
right
as
now?
last year.
Well,
I'm dressed as
let
a
me
yacht
put-
rock enthusiast.
Let me put you. Oh, there you go. Yacht rock enthusiast. I like that.
Yeah, I've got my standard retiree beach wear and my trophy fish hat, even though it's a shark. 'Cause I don't have a hat with a marlin on it.
Summer's coming undone.
It also doubles as
Yeah.
an outfit. I'm also dressed as the older gentleman from McHale who calls and complains if you don't turn the dump button off.
Oh,
When
that guy.
you're, when Brian is calling plays for the game. Same outfit, same character for two people.
Have any of the older men from McHale
No, because
called
we always
about
turn it
you?
off. We had an issue one time with the satellite a couple weeks ago, but yeah, we're on the ball.
Have they called about from the bathroom yet this season?
No, I think we're getting that worked out. I think our PA situation is all worked out. Yeah.
So Tommy Lloyd today was asked about his favorite Halloween candy. Let's hear what he had to say.
Probably, I could make a list of things I really like, but, I think Almond Joy is always a good place to start, but, literally, there's not many I say no to. If you put those little bags in front of me, that little bowl of, whatever, bite-sized candies or whatever they are, or this whatever, yeah. I'm not afraid of those. I'll eat 6 of those, and I won't eat the king-sized Butterfinger because I'm a little bit intimidated. But I'll eat 2 times that if they're in smaller portions. So
Interesting.
Is that like the Halloween mind trick? It's like, it's okay if I eat like the Hershey's bar if it's 6 of the little ones.
Sure.
Versus one of the big ones.
Well, small portions is a big part of dieting. It doesn't matter what diet you're running. So small portions is a thing, DK. But if you do small portions times 10, then it kind of defeats the purpose.
Yeah. Okay. So what's your favorite? You have a favorite there, J-Dub?
I don't think I have a favorite. I mean, I like peanut butter and chocolate's a great mix. So, I mean, you can't go wrong with Reese's type of stuff.
Reese's. That's my mother. My
Yeah.
mother, every time I go shopping for my mother, she's like, get me some Reese's.
Yeah, Paige is obsessed with Reese's peanut butter cups.
Exactly.
I don't. It's more like there's just candies that I mean, I don't really have a favorite, DK. I don't also dislike most anything. Black licorice, maybe not so much, but yeah, I'm a all candies are allowed type of person.
I didn't eat a lot of chocolate when I was growing up. I really didn't start eating chocolate until I was younger, or until I was older, like in college. So now I'm like, I like my Hershey's Kisses. I'll eat a chocolate, like those mini Hershey's chocolate bars.
Sure.
I don't like the nuts. I don't like anything with nuts or anything like that. So I'm just like give me just like a straight piece of chocolate, and I'm good to go. And I like my candy. I like Lifesavers, Sweet Tarts. I used to love the Sweet Tarts.
Yeah.
Was always a favorite.
Yeah, Jolly Ranchers now and later, I was big into it when I was a teenager.
What did they?
teenage years, yeah.
Gosh, what was they used to have these lollipops that I used to love. I can't remember the name of them, but they were anything that was like cherry or grape or orange or anything like that, candy wise. Now laters were also good. We used to eat the now laters.
Yeah.
All the time. How about you? Dragon Ball joins us now. He is filling in for Cricket today because Cricket has massive vacations, and it's going to be a Halloween festival over at her in her mom's neighborhood. We should call her, and if we were going to be on till 6, we would definitely call her and have her report in from what's happening over there. We might do that tomorrow, though.
Well, I've also heard that she's leaving the studio for today because apparently it's haunted, according to what Buzz has told me. So that might be something else.
The studio is haunted?
The traffic studio
or
might be
knobs
haunted.
going, or things turning on and off by themselves?
No,
what
but,
you're saying?
No, but there was a whisper when I walked in this morning, so I wonder if that was about.
Seriously? You're kidding.
No, I'm kidding.
Don't be messing with us, Dragon
But no,
Ball.
favorite candy is absolutely going to be a Starburst. Starburst for me is always the
Ooh,
go-to.
Starburst.
And when it comes to chocolate, the Milky Way. Milky Ways are my go-to chocolate bar.
Now, what is that? Just straight straight chocolate, or is there
That
something
is
mixed
the
there?
caramel nougat and
caramel.
Yeah, I got I got a caramel sweet tooth. Sometimes I get really bad if you've ever gone to like say your Walmart or your Fry's and they have those the little like squares of caramel that you're supposed to melt to
Right.
then use as apple covering. I'll just sometimes take those and I'll just start chewing on them like they're butterscotch. Like I'll just start eating those. So I get bad with those.
So your dentist hates you.
Yo, my dentist absolutely despises me. 100%.
Yeah.
Parents, don't forget to cut up anything that's not in packaged tonight. Do you guys know anybody that ever had anything that was compromised?
No. In fact,
No?
I don't know of any actual stories of that ever happened.
Yeah, no, I've never had any incident
It was an
like
urban
that.
legend for the longest time. And, like, obviously, back in the 80s, you know, DK, you remember this, but
Yeah.
it was a lot looser as far as parental supervision was concerned. So we got to pretty much do whatever we wanted.
Yeah, exactly.
So when that story was coming out about, you know, razors and apples and things like that, it was a big deal. It's all anybody really talked about.
Absolutely.
But, yeah, I've never heard of anything
Yeah,
like
and
that.
I was
actually
listening to some radio today. It's like I guess trunk or treats are big now,
Yeah.
where they don't
Yes.
kids don't even like really walk around anymore and to house or anymore.
Well, if you think about the way like neighborhoods are spread out, especially like a lot of the gated communities in the outskirts of Tucson, where you have a lot of the families. A lot of families have moved from the central area of Tucson out to the outskirts, and those aren't really walking neighborhoods, right? I'll tell you what, my cousins, they were at Saguaro, and one year I didn't have a costume, and in a rush, like an hour before the darkness came. We just kind of raided the garage, and they had bicycles and bicycle helmets and outfits, and it was the best Halloween ever. You know why? Because riding around on bicycles in one of those communities where the houses are much more
Yes.
spread out, you can certainly cover a little bit more
lot more
ground
ground.
than you can on foot.
The new era version of that was those tap and pay scooters that you could go on the phone, and you could just get those. I know a lot of kids attempted to do that for a while.
Outstanding. I think I saw Bobby.
Yeah,
in
Bobby's
a
in her
Dodgers.
Dodgers gear.
She's like she's in a full Dodger uniform, I think, over there. We'll have to
She's
get,
got her own name on it.
Way exactly. That's what I thought. I saw it with her own name over there. We'll have to get her in here and at the beginning of the next segment so we can parade her out to the public. All right, we're going to talk to Brian Peterson as well. Talk some Arizona football and basketball with him right now. Though Dragon Ball's got your traffic and your weather.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, this is your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together. A couple accidents to watch out for already in your afternoon drive. We have possible injuries over at West Onclum Road and North Greasewood Road. This is near the Pima Community College's West Campus area, so do be aware of that if you're heading out to the PCC. Also, we have an accident with injuries reported at North Oracle Road and West Miracle Mile, not too far from the station here. Major slowing right now on West Miracle Mile going towards Oracle, so if you're trying to get on Oracle from there, do try to go ahead and turn off before you get to that intersection. And right now we're at 79 degrees. We're going to be cooling down to the 70s low 70s once we get to 6 p.m. when the sun sets for all you trick-or-treaters out there. And I'm Dragon Ball with you, Wildcats Radio traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive Commercial Insurance flexes to fit your business's needs. From quick repairs to adjustable coverages and even payment options, Progressive Commercial makes it easy to get what you need. Quote today in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com.
Good news, everybody. We stay on the air with you for an extra 2 hours after every Arizona football and men's basketball game all season long. That's why we are the home of the Wildcats. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
Alaskan AC has been keeping people chill since 1972.
Oh, chill. Cool. I get it. It's a theme.
No, it's not.
It's not?
The theme is 72, as in 1972.
Is that why you dress like that?
$72 for an Alaska vacation.
Ooh.
$72 for a service call.
Neat.
Even $72 off any repair.
Whoa.
This month, it's 72, 72, 72 to celebrate 1972, the year Alaskan AC opened its doors.
And everybody was kung fu fighting.
Everyone was streaking, too. Let's stick to what we do best.
That's right. A $72 Alaska vacation is the perfect way to prepare for the upcoming season. It's so good, we guarantee no breakdowns.
The $72 service call makes it easy to check any concerns.
And saving $72 off any repair means that you can buy one of those cool banana seats for your rad bike.
You have a weird definition of cool.
72, 72, 72. This month at AlaskanAC.com.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning team of tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to end your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other IRS actions. Make sure you're getting the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima today for a free confidential consultation.
Call 800-410-6744. 800-410-6744. 800-410-6744.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Hi, this is Tim Couch, retired NFL quarterback for the Cleveland Browns, partner at Meridian Wealth Management, and proud member of Meridian's Tucson Advisory Business Council. It's my favorite time of year, college football season. I've always been a proud Wildcat. As our firm has grown in Tucson with Ruben and Natalie Fernandez, I now cheer on 2 Wildcats every year. My alma mater of Kentucky, of course, and our U of A Cats. Here's to a great football season, and go Cats.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
What's that sound? That's the sound of Downy Unstoppable scent beads going into your washing machine and giving your clothes freshness that lasts all day long. There it is again. It's like music to your ears, or more like music to your nose. That freshness is irresistible. Let's get a Downy Unstoppables bottle shake. And now a sniff solo. Nice. With Downy Unstoppables, you just toss, wash, wow, for all-day freshness.
Wendy's breakfast burrito has an entire breakfast in every bite. Fresh cracked eggs, seasoned potatoes, American cheese, cheese sauce, and sausage or bacon. So the first bite is like fresh American cheese sauce. Bacon. And the second bite is like fresh American cheese sauce. Bacon. You get the idea. And now, get yours with $1 any size soft drink. Gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only. Price and participation may vary. Not valid in a combo. Exclusions apply.
Hey, Wildcat fans, Arizona football is here. Catch head coach Brent Brennan as the Wildcats enter their inaugural season of the Big 12 Conference. We need you to be part of the action, filling the stands and cheering on Arizona. Secure your seats for all 7 home games with season tickets, or pick the plan that is best for you by calling the ticket office at 520-621-2287 or visiting ArizonaWildcats.com/FB. Lock in your tickets today. We'll see you at Arizona Stadium. Bear down. Go Cats.
Don't miss a minute of the best Arizona Wildcats coverage in town. Tell Alexa, play Wildcats Radio 1290. This is your home of Arizona football, men's basketball, and baseball. Wildcats Radio 1290.
This is Jim Rome with your Rome Report. I'm not here to take any credit away from the Dodgers. In fact, I'm here to give almost all the credit to the Dodgers because they deserve it, especially coming off that absurd comeback. Even if the Yanks did give them plenty of help. No matter how much help you get, reversing a 5-0 hole in the first 3 innings in an incredibly hostile environment.
Did you know that more than 90% of poisonings happen at home? Look closely and you will find poison risks hidden in plain sight inside every house. But there are actions you can take to poison-proof your home, like keeping household cleaners locked up high and away from children, properly labeling and securing medicines and supplements, and installing carbon monoxide detectors near bedrooms and furnaces. Visit poisonhelp.hrsa.gov to learn more, or call your local poison center at 1-800-222-1222, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
This is Jim Rome with your Rome Report. I'm not here to take any credit away from the Dodgers. In fact, I'm here to give almost all the credit to the Dodgers because they deserve it, especially coming off that absurd comeback. Even if the Yanks did give them plenty of help. No matter how much help you get, reversing a 5-0 hole in the first 3 innings in an incredibly hostile environment to come back and finish off the World Series, that is straight up legendary. That is epic. That is one of the single best wins in Dodger history. That said, I think it's also fair to call that top of the 5th one of the biggest nightmare innings in Yankee history. No Yankee fan will ever forget that complete and total dumpster fire of an inning, especially because things seemed so good until that point. Until then, it looked like they were actually turning things around. Credit where credit is due. The better team and the better organization won that series. Football season is heating up, and PrizePicks is the best place to get real money sports action while watching football. The app is so simple to use. Just pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 100 times your money. Download the PrizePicks app today and use the code ROME, R-O-M-E, and get a $50 credit instantly when you play $5. That's code ROME on PrizePicks to get a $50 credit instantly when you play $5. PrizePicks, run your game. Must be present in certain states where it's lawful to wager. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
O'Reilly. Check engine light on? Take the guesswork out of your check engine light with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free and provides a report with solutions based on over 650 million vehicle scans verified by ASE certified master technicians. And if you need help, we can recommend a shop for you. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
DK on the Sports Tip on Wildcats Radio 1290. It's the Wildcat Hour, which means it's time for our Arizona Insiders.
Am I late?
No, my boy, you're just in time. Each weekday, Wildcats Radio 1290 brings you all the latest news and opinions of U of A athletics and happenings around the Big 12. So bear down, Cardinal and Navy, and let's talk Cats. Our Arizona Insiders are brought to you by Coors Light, an official corporate sponsor of Arizona Athletics. Coors Light. Choose chill.
All right, we were talking about Tommy Lloyd. We heard from the head coach about his favorite Halloween candies. The man that him joins us now. Brian Peterson from AZ Desert Swarm joins the show. Brian, what did you did Almond Joy? That's not ever been one that I liked. Are you an Almond Joy fan?
No, not really that much, because I'm pretty sure that has coconut in it, doesn't it? Yeah, I mean, I don't hate coconut, but it's never a go-to thing for me. So I'm a Reese's peanut butter cup guy. Anything that's got peanut butter with it, whatchamacallit, things like that. Those are my go-to candies.
Brian, I'm just now getting wind of this story about the helmet communication thing in the Big 12 potentially have been compromised this season. Had you heard anything about this? And do we know if any of that, if there were any people here in Tucson picking up on these frequencies at all?
Yeah, I had seen the story from The Athletic about a request yesterday for Big 12 teams to have their equipment looked at to see if there was any issue. And I guess that this was Texas Tech who was the one who was mostly concerned. And they were concerned about their games against Baylor and TCU, which happened to be games they lost. So I don't know if that means that they didn't have any concerns when they beat Arizona, or like if this is a gamesmanship thing that they were overreacting. But I tried to ask Dwayne Aquina about that yesterday, but he had said that they don't really use the helmet communication as much on defense because they're not really huddling on defense, and it would be difficult for whoever is getting that communication to then relay it to other players on the field if they're so far away, that they still kind of use more on the signal side. So it would, if there was an issue, it would be more on the Arizona side. So I'm sure there's someone out there who is probably like, this is why the offense has struggled, because the other teams knew what was coming. I don't think that was the case, but it's easy to use that as an excuse.
Interesting. That's anytime you go with technology can be compromised by outside sources. I still think, I don't know why we still don't go to having the wide receiver running the play and give it directly to the quarterback. I think that was the safest way 35 years ago, and it probably is still the safest way because it's one person to one person on the field and not relying on anything else such as clipboards and fancy signs with numbers on them, which can be deciphered if you're smart enough. But I guess that's what makes football and sports fun, is that if you have the opportunity to try to decipher what the other team is doing, then you're all about trying to get whatever edge that you can. Hey, Brian, obviously the football team going into this game against Central Florida this weekend. 4 games to get 3 victories. Do you think the Wildcats are coming out of this on the bowl end at the end?
I do not think that they will be able to get there. I do think if they go into the Territorial Cup at 5-6, then they will. But that requires winning 2 of the next 3, which means at least 1 win on the road, unless they were to win both on the road and somehow lose the home game to Houston. But the Houston game is probably the one that is the most winnable at this point, based on Houston's own struggles this year. I don't think any of the remaining 4 are ones that Arizona can't win. That each of the teams they're facing, the next 3 have significant flaws. And then while ASU is having a very solid season, the rivalry situation always plays in, where traditionally you could have the team with the worst record end up winning in that. So I think all of that stuff goes out the door. But this is going to be a difficult game for Arizona to win in so many ways. I mean, there's the travel. There's the fact that UCF has the best running back in the conference and is very run heavy. And when Arizona's faced those very run heavy teams, they've had more of a struggle. Not to mention the fact that UCF just went and kind of flipped the script by changing both of their play callers going into this game. So depending on what these new guys want to do, if they want to throw in some new wrinkles, Arizona has no film on that and then just kind of has to react on the fly.
Brian Peterson, AZ Desert Swarm, joining us. Wildcats on the road this weekend at Central Florida. Obviously, you mentioned that there's some home games coming up, 2 home games still to play. This is a team outside of the New Mexico game, and this is not really anything that I've looked at or tried to decipher, but they obviously have not played well at home. And you can go back to the win against Northern Arizona when things just didn't go well offensively in that game. Have you looked at that? I know you're a numbers guy. Have you looked at all at why maybe this team has struggled at Arizona Stadium this year and really not been able to kind of to find that winning feeling here at home on game days?
Yeah, I haven't really looked at that. And I mean, it is very surprising because you should always feel like you would have the ability to play better in front of your own fans. I mean, Arizona's crowds are not the most enthusiastic, especially when you compare them to some of the other places that Arizona has played so far this year.
Yeah.
And whereas maybe Arizona was like a middle of the pack crowd support enthusiasm in the Pac-12, they are far from that in the Big 12. Kansas State, I believe they closed school on that Friday for the game. I mean, the BYU atmosphere has such a great reputation. Utah was strong. I know that like UCF is known as the bounce house, where they get very into it out there, and I believe TCU has a very strong fan base with their enthusiasm there. And Arizona, I mean, while the announced attendance numbers and the actual are so far apart, and is one thing, and that's from tickets sold, whatever. I don't really concern myself about that, but it just, outside of the student section, which has been great and very enthusiastic, which is always nice to see, everyone else just kind of seems like they're sitting there just like waiting for things to go well instead of trying to encourage them. And I think, maybe a good example of the opposite of that is like I was listening to the World Series games while driving the last few days, and even though Aaron Judge had been struggling mightily, every time he came to the plate at Yankee Stadium, you could hear the crowd get super loud because it's like, gotta support our team, and regardless of what's going on. And I'm not putting anything on the fans, like any of this is their fault, but there isn't like that extra energy that the team is getting from that. And maybe when they're on the road, it's like being the enemy works better for them. I don't know.
I don't know if it's too late. We're 2 weeks out, but they are billing this upcoming home game against Houston as Community Day. I'm not sure exactly what that means. I haven't seen the format for that, but if it's Community Day, let's close the schools. No, let's close the schools that Friday, November the 15th, and make it all about a real community feeling football, and everybody get out early and they can come to tailgate. It's an 8:15 game, so you can, or even maybe a half a day, half a school day. Let all the kids out at noon, and we can try to make this into something of a festival. Let's make some calls to Rahina Romero and see if we can get that going.
The thing is that I know with U of A students, they tend to use Friday as their recovery from Thursday and their rest up for Saturday. So it might not really work so much for them. Not to mention the fact that Houston game is going to be going up right against Arizona men's basketball playing at Wisconsin. And I can only imagine the number of people who, given the choice to stay home and watch a basketball game on TV or physically attend a football game, even if this team were going into that game like 10-0, 9-0, I think there's a fair number of fans that would rather do that, and that just rather stay home, and that just shows how much of a lead basketball has and always will have on the fan base over football and every other sport. It was kind of the reason why, until the Roadrunners showed up here for minor league hockey, every attempt at some sort of a sport during the fall or winter or spring on the pro side in Tucson would struggle. They couldn't even get people to come out if the U of A was playing on the road because they'd rather stay home and watch that.
Brian, you just gave me a big headache because I'm like Tommy Lloyd. I'm very structured on this week's game today and not tomorrow. I hadn't even realized there were two games coming up on the same day. Next Friday. Oh, yeah. I haven't even figured out. I'm like, holy crap, how are we doing that here at Wildcats Radio 1290? I hadn't even that hadn't even come across my radar because I'm so solely focused on the next thing that I had not looked that far into the future. And we've got two games in 2 weeks on a Friday night. Great. Awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks for opening up that Pandora's box for me, Brian. I appreciate it.
And we can add to that. The basketball game is on Peacock, which is a streaming only thing.
Oh gosh.
And so you have that issue. Those of us who are going to be at the football game can't watch that on the TVs in the press box because they don't have that's a cable system kind of thing. So everybody wanted to cut the cord and get away from having to pay for a couple $100s for all these channels we don't watch, and now you're going to end up having to pay for 8 different things to watch sports. So be careful what you wish for.
All right, real quick before we let you go, let's hit basketball here. You've been to both the exhibition games. What are your top takeaways from the Wildcats?
It definitely has the potential to be the most deep team that Tommy Lloyd has had, assuming that Mo Krivas comes back healthy, and it sounds like he may be available for the first regular season game next week. I think they, at the very least, will be going 9 deep, and with the possibility of Conrad Martinez being part of the rotation as the second or third option at the point guard. I think the only one of the scholarship players that is not going to be in that mix would be the freshman big man, Emmanuel Steffen. But I like that depth. I still need to see, what they can do on the inside against any sort of team with size, because these exhibition opponents haven't had that. I'm enjoying the defensive intensity. I'm also very much enjoying this version of Caleb Love where he's you almost forget he's out there sometimes.
Yeah.
And not because he's struggling, but just because he doesn't have to have the ball in his hands all the time and taking a whole bunch of shots. So it could be very calculated, his usage and what he does with the team, so that there isn't this need for him to kind of go on this hero ball approach, which sometimes was great, but then other times was terrible. If he can just be one of the guys with the potential to have those big games every now and then, it really makes Arizona a lot more difficult to defend.
All right, it is Brian Peterson. He is with AZ Desert Swarm. You can find all of their great stuff on Twitter with him and Kim Das and Ezra and everyone else. And you got a new guy there with you this year, too. How's the new guy, the young blood, doing?
Oh, yeah, Juan Serrano. He's a student at the university, and he's doing a great job. He's been helping us with with all the sports, and I may task him next week with trying to write about the fun that is the opening day of college basketball, where there will be a women's game and a men's game both at McHale with not very much turnaround in between, just to see how all of that works.
There you go. At Real BJP is where you find Brian. At AZ Desert Swarm is where you find the whole crew. Brian, appreciate you as always.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks to Coors Light for bringing you today's Arizona Insiders on Wildcats Radio 1290. Coors Light is an official corporate sponsor of Arizona Athletics. Choose chill.
Dragon Ball is the one getting you home every 20 minutes now in the fives with your traffic and your weather.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together, sponsored by O'Reilly Chevrolet. Incident with injuries possibly over at Duval Mine and I-19. This is causing some major slowing on Nogales Highway, so be aware of that if you're on Nogales Highway at the moment. Also, accident at West Valencia Road and South Valley Indian Agency Connect Road. This is at the Midvale Park area, causing major slowing on Valencia. Still at 79 degrees right now. We're going to be dropping to the 70s and lower after 6 p.m. I'm Dragon Ball with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive Commercial Insurance can protect your small business with over 30 coverage options, an easy-to-use mobile app, personalized discounts, and more. Get a quote in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Discounts and coverage selections not available in all states or situations.
See us today at O'Reilly Chevrolet and test drive a new EV. And you'll receive 2 tickets to Terror in the Corn, Southwest Arizona's scariest and most unique Halloween experience.
O'Reilly Chevrolet.
Tune into Wildcats Radio 1290 weekly for Brett Brennan's football press conference, where you can catch up on all things Arizona football this season. Sponsored by Coors Light. Choose chill. Official corporate sponsor of Arizona Athletics.
Hey homeowners, are you ready to chill out and go green? Goodfellas Air Conditioning can help. Introducing our latest lineup of energy-efficient systems
with your
featuring
pop culture, along with humor and celebrity interviews. Your earbuds are enjoying The Rich Eisen Show. Terrell Davis, former NFL player for the Denver Broncos.
When I played, if I had to get a message out, it was probably through my agent, or I had to tell somebody in the media. Now, I can just tweet it. I can just put it on social media. You hear a lot of things that you don't want to hear, and then your family hears it, they tell you about it. So it's definitely a different environment.
Search for The Rich Eisen Show on YouTube or wherever you listen.
NFL Thursday Night Football plays here.
Stafford gets the snap, fires to the end zone, right side, and it's caught for the touchdown. DeMarcus Robinson, second of the game, and the Rams extend the lead.
This Thursday, it's the Houston Texans taking on the New York Jets.
Offensively, our goal has just got to be to score 30. If we're not scoring 30, we're underachieving. This offense can do that every single week.
We are Tucson's home for the National Football League. Wildcats Radio 1290.
In a world of chaos and high inflation, where savings are rare,
just a minute, ladies and gentlemen, I think something is happening.
There's only one place that can save you up to 40% off your favorite tobacco products. Tobacco Barn. Tobacco Barn. In a quest to unlock the key to savings, Tobacco Barn embarks upon the ultimate adventure to charge no city or state sales tax because they're on the reservation, and to save up to $3 off with a coupon at tobaccobarntucson.com. This is not a joke. When savings are stolen by the evil of other high-priced tobacco stores, there's only one powerful enough to resist city and state sales taxes, plus save you up to $3 with a coupon at tobaccobarntucson.com. Tobacco Barn. Tobacco Barn. Hooray! And if all else fails, we can always call upon...
I'm Captain Tobacco, at your service.
My hero.
Tobacco Barn, Tucson's most epic adventure in savings. Now showing at Nogales Highway, just south of Valencia.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com.
Hey, what are you doing up on the step stool?
About to clean these light fixtures. The whole family's coming over, and if there's even a speck of dust in the house, my abuela will find it.
Here, I got a Swiffer duster to help with that.
A Swiffer what?
A Swiffer duster. It has this cool extendable handle that reaches 6 feet to get high and low, with fluffy dusters that easily trap and lock dust.
So, no more step stool?
No more step stool.
Easily trap and lock dust from hard-to-reach places with the Swiffer duster. Love it or your money back.
See us today at O'Reilly Chevrolet and test drive a new EV, and you'll receive 2 tickets to Terror in the Corn, Southwest Arizona's scariest and most unique Halloween experience.
O'Reilly Chevrolet.
This summer, keep your cool with Gettle Air Conditioning and Plumbing. No matter your AC needs, Gettle specialists will get you back to full home comfort fast. That's GOETTL. Visit Gettle.com today. Contractor license. ROC 282081. ROC 2822. ROC 330972.
This is Jim Rome with a Sports Minute. How about Shohei winning the damn World Series in his first shot as a Dodger after 0 postseason games in 6 years down the road at the Big L? And how about the fact that the Dodgers did it with essentially no help at all from Shohei? They didn't even need this guy's help in the World Series. I'm Jim Rome.
Hey, sports fans, if you're not calling John Anthony, you're simply missing out. To prove it, I'm releasing your Thursday night report absolutely free on recorded message line. 1-800-244-5506. Houston at New York tonight is going to be a monster game, and I've got the side and total. Houston, New York, confirmed analysis, plus pro hoops and college football. That's 5 big plays. John Anthony has you covered. I love to sweep the board. Call now. Hear him for free on my recorded message. 1-800-244-5506. Information wins. John Anthony Sports, number 1 against the spread. 1-800-244-5506. You want the information? I've got it. Houston, New York, plus college football, pro hoops, and special prop action. I love to go 5-0 the season free. John Anthony Sports, number 1 against the spread. 1-800-244-5506. That's 1-800-244-5506. Or go to johnanthonysports.com.
Sponsored by JFSR Group.
DK on the Sports Tip on Wildcats Radio 1290.
Happy, happy Halloween, Halloween, Halloween. Happy, happy Halloween, Silver Shamrock. Happy, happy Halloween, Halloween, Halloween. Happy, happy Halloween, Silver Shamrock.
It's almost time, kids. The clock is ticking. Be in front of your TV sets for the Horathon. And remember the big giveaway at 9. Don't miss it. And don't forget to wear your masks. The clock is ticking. It's almost time.
Happy, happy Halloween, Halloween.
All right, we are back here on the show, and we are joined by none other than Bobby Pareda, our biggest Dodgers fan here. Check her out, Bobby. Turn around so people can see what you got on the back there.
Actually, I do have my last name on my
yes.
on my jersey.
You don't have like Mookie Betts or anybody like that. You have Pareda.
That's legit.
Your name
you.
on the back. I like it when people put their own names on the back. Now, why number 21?
Well, this jersey was a gift from somebody very, very important to me. So he had my name put on the back of it. 21 was just my favorite number growing up. Oddly enough, happens to be Bueller's number, and he closed out the game last night. Yeah. I'm so happy. But I do have a Hernandez jersey, just for the record.
There you go. So you said you were born into this Dodger Dome. How did that happen?
Yeah, well, my mom's from L.A. originally, so I feel like I had no other choice to kind of, I had to be in on it. But, my dad's side of the family, same thing. My godfather has a lot of family out in L.A., and I feel like that's just how you get into most big organization fan clubs. I feel like it's the same thing, whether you're a Dodger fan, Yankee fan, Cubs fan, like it's just so much fun when you get to have a family that's in on it too. It kind of makes it a better experience. So definitely a very, very happy family right now.
And the eye black too.
Yeah.
Man, look at you. You just got it all
good thing
going
for eyeliner.
On.
You know?
Have a party that you're going to tonight that you're
No, just spending some time with the goddaughters tonight.
Okay.
Trick-or-treating and doing that stuff.
There you go. Outstanding. So Bobby, if you don't know, is one of our DJs over on Kim FM. She does the midday show. That's from 10 to 1 or 10 to 2?
10 to 3, actually.
10 to 3. Okay,
10 to 3
on over there. Outstanding. So you can hear her spinning all your favorite country tunes tunes? Who's the hot artist of the moment? Who are people loving right now?
I guess right now, I got to give it to Post Malone. He's been doing a really good job, collaborating with so many people in country music, and you can tell that he grew up with it. And even though he's kind of evolved over the years from like hip hop into, rap and then rock and then country, he's just a music lover. So I give him props. He's doing really well.
Outstanding. Yeah. All right. That's always good to hear for sure. So who is your favorite all-time Dodger?
I feel like at the moment I have to say Kike Hernandez, man. That's Mr. October.
Kike Hernandez. That's my girl Angelique Lazardi over at Channel 4. She's a huge Kike Hernandez fan.
Yeah, I mean he's got this charisma to him. He's very involved with his fans. He loves the game, and you could tell he does. And he was a Dodger, left for a little bit. We're not going to talk about that. Came back, and here we are.
Went to that team in Boston. We don't want to mention any of that.
Yeah, it's all right.
So what was obviously a celebration of Fernando Valenzuela.
You're not going to ask me who my favorite Dodger is?
I know, J-Dub. Where you at?
My favorite Dodger is Oral Hershiser. There's no question about that.
Yeah,
there
1988.
88.
Nobody was more dominant. That's about as dominant a season and World Series run as I think you're ever going to find by any one pitcher. So Fernando Valenzuela, obviously, celebration of him. But what was that? Was he an important part of your family's love for this team?
The fact that he passed away was really, really sad. Now, I will say, when you're younger, you don't really know too much about baseball and all the intricacies of it. But once you get older, you start appreciating those people that kind of set up the stepping stones for the team that is here now. And I know that in LA, it was a very sad day when he passed. And you know what? He brought it in for the home team. I feel like there's some blessings that came through maybe because of him and his spirit there. So, all
right. So you're taking off all next week so you can go to LA and see the parade, right?
I wish.
Bring your armor with you if you go down there. It's a little hectic right now.
It looks crazy.
That's what I'm hearing. I just pulled something up where the mayor's calling out the National Guard.
I've seen more pictures with fire than I've seen without fire.
And stuff. Wait, can we just celebrate these championships without tearing things up? I mean, my goodness.
Yeah, people get very riled up. So if you're heading to LA for any reason soon, bless you. If you're heading to LA any time soon, just be careful, okay?
All right, do we have any shows coming up, any country shows coming up people want to know about here in town?
Hondo Rodeo Fest is going to be going down in Phoenix, I want to say in November. So if you're looking to get into some good country music, Brooks and Dunn, they're going to be performing. I don't want to mess up the exact dates right now, but we have it at kimfm.com. You want to check on all the calendar dates. We have a bunch of concert dates right there for you.
All right, well, we appreciate you hanging out and showing off your Dodger gear.
Congratulations. It's Halloween. I might as well get dressed up.
There you go. Bobby Pareto, ladies and gentlemen. Check her out every Monday through Friday from 10 to 1 over at Kim FM 97.5. 99. See, I knew I would get that. 97, that's the vibe.
We got a lot of radio stations.
Yeah, we got 5 here. I can't keep them straight.
So many numbers.
Exactly.
Right? So many numbers.
Thank you, Bobby.
Thank you.
All right. It is time now. The time everybody's been waiting for. The Miller Lite Pigskin Challenge. That's right. Somebody, do we have a winner? Did John Bailina win last week?
I was not here last Thursday, but I believe he picked incorrectly. Yes.
Yeah, he picked the losing team because he said he purposely did that because he wanted the prize pack and not the money.
He likes those prize packs.
He likes the prize packs. So he picked the Titans in their game against the Lions, and the Lions won 52-14. So there you go. He got what he wanted. He got the prize pack, which means, and hey, he's paying it forward. He's paying it forward to today's potential winner who can get a $50 gift card from Miller Lite. You pick the game. I pick the winner. Caller number 1 right now, 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290, a $50 gift card at stake in the Miller Lite Pigskin Challenge.
And if you participated within this challenge in the last month, give somebody else a chance.
Exactly. You can't keep calling back here and trying to win my money. It doesn't work that way. We got some good games on the docket. Let's see what we got here this weekend. Tonight, obviously, we have the Texans and the Jets. That will not be one of the games. I generally don't pick the Thursday night game. I usually will reserve it for a Sunday or a Monday game. We got the Chargers going to the Browns. The Browns won last week over the Ravens. We got the Bears and the Cardinals here in Arizona. The Bears are who we thought they were at 4-3. Remember that game back in the day, the Bears and the Cardinals and Dennis Green. Let's see. We got some other tight games. All these games. It's like last week. We have a bunch of blowout-looking games. Lions and the Packers. Ooh, that should be a good one. I think we picked the lines a couple weeks ago, though. So we picked them last week. So we don't know if we do them 2 weeks in a row. Rams and the Seahawks. That's looking like a good game as well. And that's an NFC West game there. So we'll see here. We'll see. I'm going to have to pick a game here pretty quick. We have got Matt. Matt, you're on DK on the Sports Tip, Wildcats Radio 1290. Matt, how are you?
Any better, I'd be twins.
What'd you say? You better not be twins?
Any better, I'd be twins.
Oh, if you were any better, you'd be twins. Ah, that's a good one, Matt. I remember that. I remember that saying. All right, who's your favorite team, Matt?
Cardinals.
The Cardinals. Oh, you are a Cardinals fan. So right now, you know that if the season ended today, not only would the Cardinals be in the playoffs, but they would be hosting a home game. How about that?
Yes, sir.
All right. So they're going to win this weekend?
I sure hope so.
Against the Bears? All right. We're not picking that game, though. Sorry.
No.
Let's pick the other game in the NFC West. I like this game because the Rams all of a sudden have their wide receivers back. Puka Nacua is back. Cooper Kupp is back, and they looked really good last week. But they've struggled this season. They haven't won on the road. They're 0-3. They're going into Seattle to take on the Seahawks in this razor-tight NFC West. Seahawks, Cardinals, 49ers all 4-4. Rams 3-4. So I'm picking the Rams and the Seahawks as the game, Matt. You get to pick the winner.
Let's go with Seattle.
Seattle. Matt is picking. Why do you think Seattle will beat the Rams this weekend?
At home, Seattle. You got to go with Seattle at home.
All right. Got to go with Seattle at home. Geno Smith's already thrown for over 2,000 yards. He does have a tendency to turn it over. He's got 7 interceptions this season. DK Metcalf, though, has 35 catches for 568 yards and 3 touchdowns. The Rams are actually the favorite, though, in this game.
No kidding.
They are favored by 1.5 with a over-under of 48.5. We don't play the line. We just play straight up.
Okay.
So you're going to take Seattle. I've got the Rams as a result of your selection. So if Seattle wins, Matt, you get a $50 gift card courtesy of Miller Lite. And if the Seahawks lose, you don't get the money, but you get a prize pack. And there's some pretty good stuff in those prize packs that you can use for your next tailgate. How about that?
Very cool.
All right, Matt, hang on. J-Dub's going to get your information, and we'll come back here. We'll reconvene if you can rejoin us on Monday. Actually, Monday we'll be in basketball, so maybe we'll try to reach out to you on Tuesday and chat about what happened in the game.
Perfect. Forward to it.
All right, cool. That's Matt. Matt has taken the Seattle Seahawks, who are 4-4. They are 2-3 at home against the Rams, who are 3-4, and they are 0-3 on the road this season. That is your Miller Lite Pigskin Challenge every Thursday here on Wildcats Radio 1290. I pick the game. Can you pick the winner? Last week, I actually let the caller pick the game as well. So sometimes maybe I'll let you do that. Not if big money is a mistake, though. So, yeah, last week's winner, John Bailina, or loser, I should say, John Bailina, picked the Titans and the Lions, and he took the Titans, and they got blown out, but he said that's what he wanted.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center
because he wanted the price pack. So there you go. Congratulations to him for getting exactly what he wanted. All right, DK on the Sports Tip. Much more coming up for you in the 4 o'clock hour. Kelvin Efon will join us for his a weekly Get Your Set for Arizona football down at Central Florida. We'll pick the captain's brains on what's happening with the Wildcats and if they can end this losing streak and potentially find 3 wins in these final 4 games to get to a bowl game. You are listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together. We have those power pole repairs occurring on Marana Road from Sanders to the west of Wentz Road going on, as well as the road work on westbound Roger Road between Oracle and Romero, including the sidewalk and crosswalk work, as well as some other improvements. But both of the crews at those sites are going to be set to take off here as they will continue their work until 4. We're still at about 79 degrees right now, but we're cooling down to 70s and the high 60s here by 6. I'm Dragon Ball with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together.
This report is sponsored by eBay Motors. Swapping out your tires, there's nothing like it. With eBay, you'll find the feel you're looking for. From smooth highway rides to grip for rough terrain, get all the tires you need at prices you'll love. eBay, things people love.
My heat and air were in a state of disrepair.
My drains are clogged again. What should I do? Don't let those clogged drains scare you. Picturox Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing has a $79 drain and faucet diagnostic service special. We'll get you back in the flow. Call us at 520-492-0748 or picturoxcooling.com.
Picturox Cooling, Heating and Plumbing.
All right, she's inside. Are you good?
Yeah. It's just, she's my baby girl, you know?
I do, and ceramic coating was a good choice.
She's beautiful.
Yep, I know.
Recon Auto Detailing. Enhance or restore your baby to her former glory with paint recondition, ceramic coating, paint protection, tinting, and more for full protection of your vehicle inside and out. New cars, old cars, we love them all. Recon Auto Detailing, 3829 North Oracle Road, Tucson. ReconDetail.com.
Hey, Wildcat fans, Arizona football is here. Catch head coach Brent Brennan as the Wildcats enter their inaugural season of the Big 12 Conference. We need you to be part of the action, filling the stands and cheering on Arizona. Secure your seats for all 7 home games with season tickets, or pick the plan that is best for you by calling the ticket office at 520-621-2287 or visiting ArizonaWildcats.com/FB. Lock in your tickets today. We'll see you at Arizona Stadium. Bear down. Go Cats.
Hey, what you reading, Marty?
Just about the sheriff's race. I like Heather Lappin. She has served nearly 20 years in the sheriff's department and will decrease crime by increasing patrols.
I know Heather. She was on the news fighting for reform.
Yeah, Heather Lappin is endorsed by nearly every local law enforcement group.
What about her opponent?
Chris Nanos' office was investigated regarding a sexual assault case. Also the misuse of funds.
Nanos sounds like bad news. I'm voting for Heather Lappin for sheriff.
Political ad paid for by Heather Lappin for sheriff. Authorized by Heather Lappin.
This Saturday, your Arizona Wildcats take on Central Florida. The action begins with the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day live from Corbin's off of 4th, leading up to the 12:30 p.m. kickoff. Only on Wildcats Radio 1290.
Hey homeowners, are you ready to chill out and go green? Goodfellas Air Conditioning can help. Introducing our latest lineup of energy-efficient systems featuring the new R32 refrigerant. It's cooler, greener, and better for the planet. You'll enjoy lower energy bills and a smaller carbon footprint. Not a fan of change? Goodfellas has a surplus of reliable R410 systems available. Unsure about what system you have or have questions? Give us a call for a free inspection. Goodfellas Air Conditioning, keeping it cool, keeping it green, and always keeping you comfortable.
I'm Ryan Horvath, here to help you beat the books with BetQL. The Cleveland Browns finally got back in the win column last weekend, but don't get used to it. This Sunday, they host the Chargers with Jameis Winston up against a rock-solid Los Angeles defense that's allowing the fewest points in the National Football League. The Chargers is 1.5-point favorites as a BetQL 5-star best bet. I'm Ryan Horvath. Bet smarter and beat the books. Download the BetQL and BetMGM apps today.
Whether you're ordering wings for the game, whipping up a 7-layer dip, or ordering pizza, there's something about football that makes you want to eat. And this football season, Uber Eats has the best deals on game day food. No matter what you're craving, from 2-for-1 pizza to buy one, get one wings, Uber Eats will be dropping new deals each week, all season long. Uber Eats, official on-demand delivery partner of the NFL. Order now. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. We are Tucson's home for Arizona Wildcats football. From fall camp to the Territorial Cup, we bring you all the action of Arizona football. We are Wildcats Radio 1290.
Westwood One presents Today in Women's Sports, sponsored by Allstate. Over in college basketball, the Iowa Hawkeyes are gearing up for a new campaign after an offseason full of big changes. Of course, star players like Caitlin Clark and Kate Martin are gone after leading Iowa to back-to-back national championship games. The program also saw the departure of head coach Lisa Bluder, who retired after 24 seasons on the job. Now, the unranked Hawkeyes will be led by Jan Jansen, who was Bluder's longtime assistant. Despite the changes to the Iowa basketball program, the season tickets have been sold out once again. Jensen and the Hawkeyes will have all of Iowa City behind them as they enter this new era.
For the fans to be as excited as they were a year ago about such a young and rebuilding and youthful perspective, that is just really cool.
With Today in Women's Sports, I'm Olivia Harlan-Decker on Westwood One.
Retired or retiring soon? How much money do you need to live comfortably? Retirement Planners of America is here for you. Would you like to have financial peace of mind? Here's how. Step 1. Find out the amount of money you'll need to retire. Step 2. Have a plan to get there. Step 3. Make sure that plan can take advantage of market gains but protect you from market losses. Discover how to do all three with a free consultation at 800-508-6108. That's 800-508-6108.
All investments involve risk, including losses. Past performance does not guarantee future results.
All right, gentlemen, this is Emmett Smith on behalf of Depend, and I've got the perfect play. Run straight to your doctor's office for a life-changing catch. Because when prostate cancer is caught early, it's up to 99% treatable, and one blood test might be all it takes. And now through November, Depend is donating to the Prostate Cancer Foundation for select purchases. Talk about a great play.
From September 1st to November 30th, Depend is donating 40 cents to the Prostate Cancer Foundation for Depend Shield Guards Real Fit products purchased in the U.S. up to a maximum of $300,000 void in Mississippi.
Live from the CNWT.
Wait, what's the CNWT?
Central Northwest Tucson. Duh.
It's DK on the Sports Tip with your host, David Kelly.
Radio. Just when I thought I was out, they drug me back in.
Featuring J.W. Madden.
Don't tell me about flip-flops, man. I'm a native.
David Amata.
Hey, that's Dragon Ball to you.
And Cricket getting you home with traffic and weather.
Camp on Melt Lemon, not in the left lane on the freeway.
Here we go! And now, a man who has not one, but three first names, David Scott Kelly.
J.W. Madden had it absolutely right yesterday. He told you our BetQL 5-star play yesterday. The BetQL folks said to take the over on the game between the Oklahoma City Thunder and the San Antonio Spurs. J-Dub said, take the under on that game. And the final there was the Thunder, led by Chet Holmgren, beating the Victor Wembanyama San Antonio Spurs 105-93. So 198 was the total in that game, well under that 221. So the BetQL folks did not have it right on that particular game last night.
It's a good defensive team.
Only
Oklahoma
6 points for Wemby, huh?
Yeah, he got injured early, went out, but I think Chet blocked his first attempt and then did something crazy on his second attempt. So, yeah, Wemby did not have his typical game last night.
Chet Holmgren, 19 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks. That's filling up the stat sheet for sure. Did have 5 turnovers. A lot of touches for the big man there. Do a lot of those come off of him trying to pass the ball out of the post? Or
the crazy thing about Chet is, like I said yesterday, he's a guard. So, he really does play with the ball in his hand. So if Chet gets a rebound, he brings the ball up. He's not looking for Shea or J-Dub or any of those guys. Like, Chet Holmgren has the green light to get a rebound and push tempo on his own. So a lot of his turnovers come because he's 7'2". And what is he, like 23? So his handles aren't exactly super tight. Good enough for him to be able to get the green light as a 7'2" guy, DK, to dribble the ball in traffic around NBA guards. But I'm not surprised by the turnover number. His impact, Victor Wembanyama led the league in blocks last year. Chet was second.
Yeah.
So, his impact right around the rim and finishing lobs and, his three-point shots coming along, I think he's going to do most of his damage mid-post. Is probably going to be the best spot for him. But those turnovers come off he was a little loose with the ball a few times.
So we're a weekend. Thunder, one of just 2 undefeated teams in the NBA. Oklahoma City 4-0. They're the current 1 seed in the West. Golden State 4-1, and that's not surprising to say the least. 3-1 the Suns, 3-1 the Mavericks, 3-2 the Lakers, 2-2 the Rockets. So that's your top 6. And then Clippers, Kings, Wolves, and Nuggets all 2-2 as well in that 7-10 playoff range, play-in range, I should say, in the West. In the East, Cleveland, who blew out the Lakers and LeBron last night, 5-0, Celtics 4-1, Bulls 3-2, Magic 3-2, Knicks, Heat, Wizards, Hornets, all 2-2, Hawks, Pacers 2-3.
Your guy, Bronny James, got his first NBA and last NBA bucket of the season last night in
impressive.
Cleveland.
That was a pretty impressive turnaround. He hit it over a taller guy.
Yeah.
Stop and kind of turned. I didn't think he was going to make that shot, but he did. So nice
That's
job
what it
by
was all
Brian.
about, right? I mean, it was the home game with him checking in with his dad, and then that return home to being born in Akron, just like his dad. So the idea of that Cleveland love for the James family, I think, is what last night was all about.
I mentioned the Celtics lost their first game last night at the hands of Ben Mathurin and the Indiana Pacers.
Siakam clears up to Mathurin, who gets the start here in the second half. Interesting move by Rick Carlisle. And Mathurin rewards him for the change.
Who in this league makes more contested shots than Jaylen Brown?
Mathurin spinning for the bucket. J. Smith on the dribble handoff over to Mathurin. Tatum switches on to him. Ben Mathurin just doesn't care. Not tonight. He has smoke for everybody.
Ben Mathurin off the bench. 30 points. 9 of 17 from the floor. 10 of 11 from the line. 30 points, 11 rebounds, 4 assists off the bench and talking smack, J-Dub.
He does that, yeah. I mean, last year people may remember the instance where he and Jason Tatum went to the ground and neither one of them wanted to let go of the ball. That's just who Ben Mathurin is always going to be. My favorite stat, DK, that came out from last night is, the Pacers have been a part of the NBA since 1976. That's Ben Mathurin's, as you just mentioned, 30 points off the bench. The 5th time he's done that. Ties for the most in Pacers history.
Wow.
5 30-point games off the bench is tied for the most that's ever happened from a bench player in their careers. So, and he's in, year 2.5, really, because he sat out quite a bit last year.
Who's the other guy?
I don't have the list in front of me, but I mean, 30 points off the bench, if you're talking about like Microwave and some of those guys who are meant to come off the bench and score points in bunches. But yeah, Ben Mathurin's he's just waiting in the wings to be a starter.
Waiting in the wings. I'd asked Tommy if he saw that game last night. He said he did not see it, but he had heard that Ben got off, and he said when Ben, something to the extent of, if Ben gets something in his mind, don't get in front of him.
Yeah, a couple years ago, Tyrese Halliburton said that Ben Mathurin was the most confident person he had ever met. Ever.
Wow. Here's an interesting stat. Ben Mathurin and Kelly Olynyk are the only Canadians with multiple 30-plus point games off the bench in the NBA. That's
I don't think Shea was really scoring when he was with the Clippers. I mean, he scores 30 every single night now, but it's in a starter's role.
Interesting stuff there. Great outing there by Ben Mathurin in that contest last night. 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. We also got a chance, we were over at McHale Center today, talked to Tommy Lloyd. Also got a chance to talk to Anthony Del Orso, who is one of the newest members of this squad. And Anthony talked about Tommy Lloyd, and interesting because Tommy, spent some time in Australia. Anthony's from Australia. Tommy spent some time in Australia after he got out of school and was kind of starting his coaching journey and playing a little professional basketball. And so they kind of have that in mind, or have that in common.
I mean, we talk about everything. That's the best thing about Tommy. I mean, I'm a guy that prides myself on having that relationship with coaches. Like, I walk into the coach's office and I'll sit there for hours and we'll just talk about anything. And basketball wouldn't even be the topic. So we spoke about everything. We just had natural conversations. He loves to, throw his little snipes out there about his time in Australia and all that. But I describe him to my parents as he's an Aussie trapped in an American's body. That's how Tommy is. If he wanted to be Australian, he could be.
Pies or something.
Yeah, every day. He'll send me a photo. He's sort of like, let's say next Tuesday morning, he'll send me a photo and it'll be a meat pie and a sausage roll on a plate. Just no text, just the photo. And I'll be like, breakfast of champions, and he'll love it.
He'll send you one from
Yep. He's home from lunch, from anything. That's Tommy. And that's what I love about it.
An Aussie chap in an American's body.
Yep.
I love that. I love that. See, Tommy's he's down to earth in America. He's down to earth in Australia.
Well, Australians no nonsense and very sports forward, right? Like, that's about the most sports loving country in the world. If you really had to pick one, I could definitely see Mr. Del Orso describing Coach Lloyd as a an Australian trapped in an American's body.
Great getting a chance to chat with Anthony Del Orso. I think he's going
Good
to
dude.
be a guy that the fans are going to like here. He seems like he's a tough kid. Said that he does have dreams of playing on the Australian national team at some point. So I think there's going to be some fun things to come for that young man here at the University of Arizona.
Just keeping that Australian-Arizona pipeline, right?
Going, yeah.
Pender, Josh Green.
Yeah, exactly. Pender, Green, and he also came from Campbell, which is where Cedric Henderson came from. So there was a little connection there as well for Anthony Del Orso. Looking forward to seeing him on the floor come Monday night for the season tip-off against Canisius.
He's not backing down, I'll tell you that much.
No, not at all. All right, we are joined by the third member of our program. His name is Dragon Ball. He is in for cricket today. Dragon Ball, your thoughts on the end of the World Series and the Dodgers winning it 4-1?
I think that the biggest narrative that I came away from this is that all of a sudden Dave Robertson, Aaron Boone, they switched hats. Suddenly Dave Roberts went from being the over manager to Boone being the over manager. And I know Yankees fans, a couple of Yankee fans that I talked to, and I've made sure to not make it any easier for them. That's my job, is to make it hard for the Yankee fans in their moment of distress. They're not too happy of hearing reports that Boone will be back next year. But, I mean, hey, this guy, he got you to it. So eventually you got to think that maybe he'll be able to get this team back to a World Series. But that was one of those games where you're up 5-0. There's no way you can lose that game at home.
Yeah.
And somehow they found a way to do that.
How's Boone going to cover first base or catch a ball in center field? Is the thing.
Yeah.
He can't.
He cannot.
He just cannot do it.
It would not be legal for him to run into the middle of the playing field and to cover first base. They're not allowed to do that.
And then I heard this story, and I've said before, Big Brother Brett, he and I went to USC at the same time. I went back and I was watching some of Game 1 last night, and come to find out, they were at Brett and Aaron were at Game 1 in '88, and they left before it was over.
They were the taillights.
They
were the taillights.
Well, I don't know. Apparently, they left on a moped that Brett had, and so I don't know if those. Yeah, it still had. Well, I was told it was an illegal moped, so maybe it didn't have taillights on it. That might have been why it was illegal. But baseball kids, it's like they play the game, but do they really love the game? Because, why, if you're I think Aaron would have been in high school at that point, or maybe just into college, and Brett was in college.
What year is this?
This would have been 88.
Yeah, so he's a couple years older than I am, so that would have been just freshman year of high school.
Leaving a World Series game before it's over. I mean, that just makes absolutely.
Maybe he got invited to a freshman dance.
I don't know, but I'm trying to remember what. It was like the game was during the week. It was like on a Monday or a Tuesday night, so it wasn't like it was a weekend or something like that. But that's baseball kids. I mean, a lot of baseball kids play this game, but they don't necessarily love it like we do as fans growing up. And so I totally, when I heard it, I was a little bit shocked, but then I wasn't, because I think that's, like I said, that's what baseball kids do.
By the way, one other quick thing about that World Series. You remember that fan that we watched that ripped the ball out of the hand of Mookie Betts?
Yeah, we talked about that yesterday.
Apparently, the guy is a former University of Arizona Ice Cat.
Oh, yeah, we talked extensively about that. And I got some new thoughts about that. We'll get into that tomorrow if we have time, or maybe even Monday, because we'll be out at Pushridge Christian Academy. All right, traffic with David Amata, Dragon Ball. Take it away.
From the Roush Chevrolet Tractor Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together. You have an incident with unknown injuries right now on East Sahuarita Road. This is west of the Sahuarita Pecan Festival grounds. If you're traveling on East Sahuarita Road, there's going to be a little bit of backup there because of that incident. Also, accident with injury at East 6th Street and North Euclid Avenue. This is causing major slowing going towards the intersection there. Do try to avoid both 6th Street and Euclid if you can because of that. And for right now, we're still at about 79 degrees. We'll be cooling down to 70 by 6, and we'll be hitting the 60s once we get to the 7 o'clock hour for you trick-or-treaters out there. And I'm Dragon Ball with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Lowe's knows you want to get more value for the holiday. That's why, as a My Lowe's Rewards member, you get new member deals every week on everyday essentials, tools, and more. Program subject to terms and conditions. See Lowe's.com/terms for full details, subject to change.
Hey, it's Rich Eisen here. Tune in each weekday from noon to 3 p.m. for the Rich Eisen Show, right here on Tucson's home of Arizona Wildcats football.
Touchdown, Arizona!
And the National Football League. Wildcats Radio, 1290.
In a world of chaos and high inflation, where savings are rare,
Just a minute, ladies and gentlemen. I think something is happening.
there's only one place that can save you up to 40% off your favorite tobacco products. Tobacco Barn. Tobacco Barn. In a quest to unlock the key to savings, Tobacco Barn embarks upon the ultimate adventure to charge no city or state sales tax because they're on the reservation, and to save up to $3 off with a coupon at TobaccoBarnTucson.com. This is not a joke. When savings are stolen by the evil of other high-priced tobacco stores, there's only one powerful enough to resist city and state sales taxes, plus save you up to $3 with a coupon at TobaccoBarnTucson.com. Tobacco Barn. Tobacco Barn. Hooray! And if all else fails, we can always call upon... I'm Captain Tobacco, at your service.
My hero.
Tobacco Barn, Tucson's most epic adventure in savings. Now showing at Nogales Highway, just south of Valencia.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-568-2790. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-568-2790. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-568-2790. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-568-2790. 800-568-2790 or biglou.com.
Alaskan AC has been keeping people chill since 1972.
Oh, chill. Cool. I get it. It's a theme.
No, it's not.
It's not?
The theme is 72, as in 1972.
Is that why you dress like that?
$72 for an Alaska vacation.
Ooh.
$72 for a service call.
Neat.
Even $72 off any repair.
Whoa.
This month, it's 72, 72, 72 to celebrate 1972, the year Alaskan AC opened its doors.
And everybody was kung fu fighting.
Everyone was streaking, too. Let's stick to what we do best.
That's right. A $72 Alaska vacation is the perfect way to prepare for the upcoming season. It's so good, we guarantee no breakdowns.
The $72 service call makes it easy to check any concerns.
And saving $72 off any repair means that you can buy one of those cool banana seats for your rad bike.
You have a weird definition of cool.
72, 72, 72. This month at AlaskanAC.com.
Stay informed on all the latest news from McHale Center and Arizona men's basketball by following us on Twitter at Wildcats1290. When news breaks from Tommy Lloyd's team, we will bring it to you on Wildcats Radio 1290.
For 100 years, O'Reilly Chevrolet has been part of the fabric of Tucson, just as our Chevy trucks are part of the fabric of America. With that in mind, we're proud to announce it's officially truck season. And this year we have Motor Trend's Truck of the Year, the all-new Chevy Colorado. Test drive your new Chevy truck on Broadway next to Park Place Mall. Call 747-8000 or check out our entire lineup at O'Reilly.com. Don't miss truck season, going on now at O'Reilly Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
O'Reilly Chevrolet.
Do you need your home repiped? Having trouble with your water heater? Leaking toilet? Have you ever thought about an instant recorded seweroscopy? Then call Economy Plumbing Service at 885-3510. Because if water goes through it or to it, we do it. Economy Plumbing, 885-3510.
Cummings Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling, where we always give you a free estimate before we get started.
ROC number 113429.
Cactus RV and Marine. Visit their original location on Romero North of Prince during I-10 construction or cactusrv.com.
I'm Taylor Bisciotti with NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network. Colts head coach Shane Steichen announcing Joe Flacco will be the starting quarterback moving forward over Anthony Richardson, saying Joe gives us the best chance to win right now, and the team is not giving up on Anthony Richardson by any means.
Obviously, it's a difficult thing, but again, it's my obligation to 53 guys in this organization, to win football games. And right now, I'm focused on the present of winning football games, and we'll get to the future when we have to get to the future.
Panthers head coach Dave Canales says Bryce Young will start again this week against the Saints, despite Andy Dalton fully participating in practice Wednesday after missing last week with a thumb injury. Jameis Winston will remain the Browns starter moving forward, according to head coach Kevin Stefanski. And Packers quarterback Jordan Love says it's realistic he can play Sunday against the Lions, despite being limited in practice Wednesday with a groin injury. This has been NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network.
All right, when it comes to getting life insurance for your family, a lot of excuses can get in the way. But ask yourself this: if something were to happen to me, who would pay the mortgage, the kids' education, and the other bills? Then forget the excuses and check out Ethos Life, the online, easy way to get life insurance in 10 minutes. Ethos has rates that you can afford, like a $500,000 policy for a 40-year-old male starting at $1 a day or $30 a month, with a few health questions and no medical exam. Get your free quote right now at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com. Not available in all states. Rates do vary.
Wendy's breakfast burrito has an entire breakfast in every bite. Fresh cracked eggs, seasoned potatoes, American cheese, cheese sauce, and sausage or bacon. So the first bite is like fresh cracked American cheese sauce. Bacon. And the second bite is like fresh American cheese sauce. Bacon. You get the idea. And now, get yours with $1 any size soft drink. Gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only. Price and participation may vary. Not valid in a combo. Exclusions apply.
DK on the Sports Tip on Wildcats Radio 1290.
All right, final few minutes of the show. Let's talk some Arizona football and some Arizona basketball with the captain, Kelvin Ifan, because no one other than Kelvin, I'm sure somebody maybe played both back in the day, but he is the most recent star of both teams playing both football and basketball here at the University of Arizona. And we've got both of those sports on the horizon, Saturday and coming up on Monday. First of all, Kelvin, we'll start with Saturday. And Central Florida, the longest trip of the year for this team. They left today to get out there a day early to get acclimated. What do you make of that and how that might help this team going into the game, because it is an earlier start on Saturday, 12:30. Well, 3:30 Eastern time, but 12:30 by their body clock.
Yeah, I think that's the most important reason, because of the start of the game time, that they need that extra day to be there, to let those legs. You know how it is when you take a long flight, a red eye from one side of the country to the other, your legs are a little wobbly. So imagine having to play a football game, after that. So you need a little time to let those legs get back, have a good meal or two, and and get ready to play some football. No excuses. They're going to have to do the same thing next year. That's just a part of how this thing goes.
All right, 4 games left to get 3 wins and make yourself bowl eligible. These are 2 teams that are obviously struggling. Central Florida has lost 5 games in a row. The Wildcats 4 games in a row. When you're in the midst of a losing streak like this, Kelvin, what's the mindset needed to be able to get out of a rut like this on Saturday?
Well, first things first, man, you have to just continue to believe in each other and have each other's back. I was in this situation, I think this was my junior year. We were 3-5, coming off a 5-6 season. We were 3-5, and spirits were down, and guys just came together, man, and just said, hey guys, we got to take care of business and get to a bowl game so we can get some extra workouts and make sure that we salvage this year. We don't want to go out like that. We had some tough, close losses, and I just thought we had some good practices after that, believed in each other, man, and just took it one game at a time, and ended up going to the Insight.com Bowl. And I always tell people that I feel like that year really was what catapulted us into that 12-1 season, and really, ran its course through that season.
That's interesting, because that was one of the things that Tetsuo McMillan said this week. He said, we want to be practicing and playing in December. So that means a lot to these guys to have that month of December to finish a season right.
Yeah, it do, man, because, you go home. I always told you about it. One time I went home during Christmas,
Right.
the first year I was out of basketball, and guys were joking you, man. They like, you play college football and then you're home. So it's a thing to where it's a sense of pride and a sense of you want your school where you're going to have some you want people to respect it. So yeah, you want to play in a bowl game. You don't care the name of it. You just want to play in a bowl game and hopefully be one of the teams that end on a win.
Chatting with Kelvin Efon. He is our Arizona analyst, our Wildcat football analyst here on Wildcats Radio 1290 for both football and men's basketball. Kelvin, the start of the men's basketball season coming up on Monday, and obviously the big question is going to be the health status of Moteas Krivas, and obviously they don't really need Moteas Krivas probably to win this first game and maybe even this second game. I would think you want to have him going into Wisconsin, but how do you think that changes the dynamic of these first two games when your main big man is not out there?
Well, it changes things a little bit, but I also think it opens up opportunities. I think you know me. I always had that captain mindset and, the next guy up. I just believe that, honestly, it gives more guys the opportunity to get a chance to play and get some real game experience, which is going to help you later in the season when you have injuries and stuff. You have guys that actually have actual minutes in game that they can go back to and lean on if they put back in that situation again. So, hey, you hate to see a guy go down, but your team is all about depth, what type of depth you have. You see the football team right now is having problems because they don't have a lot of depth. So any way you can build that depth, you go for it. And I want to say one more thing about football. I totally support Coach Brennan. This is first year here, man. I think you got to give him time to make his mark, or let's see what he's really about. Hey, man, I'm about winning just as much as anybody, but I know I know just as well as anybody else. It takes time to get it figured out. I know it was a good roster coming back, but that's not the roster that we have now, and it's different coaches and everything. So it's not any excuses, but the reality is we got to give a man a chance, and that's just the way I feel, man. I just had to get that out there officially.
All right. Strong statement by the captain, Kelvin Efon. Captain, we'll see you Saturday. How'd the football game go? Real quick, how'd the Little League game go last week?
We won. I'm going to be there Saturday, but I got to leave early to get to the championship at Desert View at 12
going
o'clock.
To the ship. We're going to
Yes,
the ship.
sir.
We're going
Yes,
to the
sir.
ship. All right. Good to hear. All right. Well, so we'll see you early for a little breakfast to get you ready for the championship.
Yes, sir. About that, guys.
Kelvin Efon, Arizona football class of 1998. The captain. All right. Good
K-Rock
to
is
hear.
ready for Monday, but he's also ready for Saturday first.
Saturday first. Absolutely. All right. That's going to wrap up our show for today. Thanks to the captain, Kelvin Efon, for joining us. Thanks to Brian Peterson from AZ Desert Swarm for joining us as well. Again, this is our final short Thursday show. We'll be back to full strength, or at least partial full strength. We'll be at 5:30 Thursdays moving forward until we get to Tommy Lloyd, and then we'll be back to a full 6 o'clock. It is the Houston Texans at the New York Jets. Watch this game because the Jets are coming to the desert next week for a showdown with the Cardinals. For JW Madden, for Cricket, who's not here, for Dragon Ball, we'll talk about her anyway, and Priscilla, my name is David Kelly. That's our time for tonight. Coming up next, the National Football League, right here on Wildcats Radio, 1290.
The following is a presentation of Westwood One Sports. If it's the NFL, it's on Westwood One.
Lions have it with the touchdown lead in the third. Shotgun snap goes to the quarterback. Goff takes the handoff and gives the end around to St. Brown, and then throws in the end zone. Caught by Goff at the goal line. Near side. Touchdown Detroit. The wide receiver just threw a touchdown pass to the quarterback. Now we have seen it all.
Receivers left and right. Rodgers gives the snap, turns, fakes the handoff, rolling to his left, throws to the end zone. Conklin is wide open. Touchdown Jets.
Stroud throws it. Catch made Collins. Collins works to the sideline, looking for the end zone. He's got it. Touchdown. 16 yards on the catch and run. Stroud to Collins is a lethal combination. And the Texans go back in front.
Receiver in motion, low snap. He runs and he throws. Caught, touchdown. It's caught. Hardman caught the ball. The Chiefs have won. The Chiefs have won.